Good afternoon. I'm Titanium the Tool Man, and welcome to Tool School. This is the place where you can learn about God and tools at the same time. Today, I'm going to tell you a story about Solomon. You can find it in the book of 1 Kings. Now, Solomon was a king. He was a very, very wise king. He was known as the smartest king ever. And one time, he had something come up that really made him think. So, I'm going to tell you what happened by using tools. So, first off, let me set the scene. Two ladies living together in the same house, okay? Two. Lady number one, she had a baby. Great. I love babies. They're loud. Loud things don't bother me at all. Then 3 days later, lady number two had a baby in the same house. So now there's one lady, two ladies, one baby, two babies in the same house. You follow? It's like a little apartment type thing. They each got their own bedroom and they were really having a good time. One night, they went to bed. Now see, back then they didn't have fancy cribs or places for the baby to lay when they were little. They would sleep in the bed with the mom. So one night they went off to bed, okay? So then lady number one laying into bed with her baby laying next to her. In the other room, lady number two laying into bed with her baby next to her, okay? So there's what happened. So then something terrible happened that I don't even want to tell you, but if I didn't tell you, you would wonder, what's the point of this whole story? So I have to. So what happened was, one of the babies died. And then the two ladies started arguing about the baby dying. So they went to Solomon, and they started telling him the whole story about the baby and what I'm dying. And he's like, I don't know what the point of what you're telling me this is. And then lady number one says, what happened is, I went to bed, and when I woke up, my baby was dead. But I didn't do anything. And lady number two said, oh, sure you did. You must have rolled over on your baby, and the baby must have stopped breathing. And that's really sad, but that's what happened. And lady number one is like, well, I don't think so, because this isn't my baby. She's looking at the baby, and she's saying, this doesn't look like my baby. This is not my baby. But the baby was only like a week old, so they're really hard to tell the difference in them. Am I right? So then lady number two, she says, well, this is my baby. I can tell it's my baby because it looks like me. And lady number one said, no, it looks like me. And then they started arguing. So apparently what had happened was this. One of the ladies accidentally rolled over on their baby and stopped breathing. And then one of the ladies switched babies in the middle of the night to trick the other one. But the question is, who did what, and how will you ever know? So Solomon, being the smartest king ever, said this is going to be an easy decision to make. You know what he said? He said, bring me a sword. We're going to cut the baby in half. Cut the baby in half? You can't cut a baby in half, but he said, bring me a sword. So, here's what I'm thinking. Number one, a sword won't do the job. I'm thinking a grade A, steel-bladed, sharpened up, wood-handled axe. I'm thinking I chop the baby in half because that's the best way to do anything. Like firewood. One sweep, they cut in half. But sometimes you don't want to come down too hard and you want to make sure that you don't damage it. So in that case, I might go with something simple like the sheetrock knife. It just penetrates and then it cuts down slowly and leaves a little messy groove, but still you can see what you're doing. But maybe not. The other thing I might do is I might do the tree branch switchblade. It looks like nothing, but then it pops out into a blade. See the teeth on that? Now with that, I could definitely see what I was cutting and make sure that it's even, because the whole point of Solomon was give half the baby to each one of the ladies. So I might use this. But also have up here, I have my trusty hacksaw. The hacksaw is always good for cutting hard things, so if it gets a little difficult, I might switch to that. So I've got several options here, but I definitely wouldn't go with the sword, is what I would recommend to Solomon. So, but what I've decided to go with is this. It's a grade A circular saw. It's got precision cutting, it's got the rigged teeth, it's got the level elevation, so you can just make sure you're going just across in the right way, one smooth cut, and we'll just do it. So I think what we're going to do is go to my workshop, and I'm going to show you how a circular saw works. Hello again, this is Titanium the Toolman, and I'm here at Titanium the Toolman's workshop. Let me just give you a quick tour before we get on with the lesson. So over there, you'll see like nails and screws. That's used to put stuff together. There's my sawhorses. Sometimes when I use them to make stuff. And there's my table for lunch and stuff like that. And just look at all the things that I have to do on a daily basis, because I am Jim the Toolman Taylor and I do a lot of tools. But now we're getting over seeing just more of the projects up there, all the wood supplies that I may need. Oh, there's my hammer. I like to paint a lot. There's my paint. And there you go. Now this is the baby that we're going to be dealing with today. This is the DeWalt circular saw, and it comes in various sizes and speed, but this is the extra super duper one that goes faster and more powerful than anything, because that's what the Toolman deals with. So I'm going to show you a few things about how it works and what it can do. So you see, first off, you take the DeWalt, and it's very loud, so if I were to turn it on, see how the blade comes out? It's got this protective covering right here, so you can't hurt yourself. I've been known to hurt myself, but this will keep me from doing it. But say I took this wood right here, and I took it, and I put it right there. Now if I wanted to cut it, I would measure it properly, and then I would just bring it down like this, and it would cut it. See, look, it's too small to reach. See how it's not reaching? So what I would do then is I would bring it down. See how smooth that was? Could you even hear it or see it? But look, completely cut in half. So now I'm going to continue on with the story of Solomon. So as you know, Solomon had to figure out what to do with the baby. If it was up to me, Titanium the Toolman, I would take the baby and I would put the baby right on the saw. So let's look at this piece of wood. Pretend this piece of wood is the baby. That's not going to end good for the baby. But this is what he said to do. He said, cut the baby in half. And the baby is cut in half. To take the baby, and Solomon said, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to cut the baby in half, and then each of the ladies can have one half. Do you want to cut it down the middle so they each get half of the body, or do you want to do it like right here and give one the top and one the bottom? Here we go. Whoa, 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 hang on. Hold it. He almost cut that baby in half, but it didn't. So here's what happened, the reason the baby didn't get cut in half. When King Solomon told the two ladies, the two moms, said, hey, we're just going to cut the baby in half and you each going to have half of it. One of the ladies said, you know what? That'll be great. That way she can't have it and I can't have it, and then nobody gets it. That's a fair plan. Well, lady number 2 started like crying and going, "Oh no, don't kill my baby. You can't hurt my baby. If it comes down to that, I would surely give the baby to other lady to save him. Don't kill him, please." Well, when Solomon heard this, he knew exactly who the right mom was. Do you know the answer to it? Lady number 1 that said, "Okay, cut him in half, it doesn't matter," or lady number 2 that said, "Please don't hurt the baby"? Of course, it was lady number 2. So by Solomon threatening to take the baby and chop the baby in half, made the true mom come out. And that was part of the wisdom that God had given Solomon. He told to Solomon, he said, "Solomon, you can have anything you want in the world." And you know what Solomon wanted? Solomon asked for wisdom. He asked to be smart and wise and always seek God in his decisions. So, the baby was never going to get hurt, but he had to test it to see. So that's what happened in Solomon and the story of the 2 ladies and the baby. So next time you come, maybe I'll work on the hammer and I'll show you how to hammer something. I'll show you how to hammer something. But until then, oh, that's smarted. But until then, stay safe and God bless.